How do you honor a parent who constantly brings up your past mistakes and says very hurtful, deep-cutting words to you? I am at the end of my rope, all caps, please help, with 3 exclamation points. This is a letter that many people could write. Sadly, there are all kinds of believers who come from all kinds of rotten homes, and they desire to have a relationship with mom or dad. They determine, I'm going to honor my parents even when they don't honor me, but it's really, really hard. How do you deal with it? I think it starts with understanding what honoring is. Does honoring mean that you need to always obey your parents when you're an adult, especially when you're married with your own kids? And the answer to that thoughtfully is you're wise to listen because they've got more decades on you, so they've learned some stuff, but you don't have to do everything you're told because you're no longer under their authority. However, that doesn't mean you can't honor them. And one of the most helpful ways I think there is to figure out what it means to honor bad parents is to consider what it means to dishonor them. You call them names, you gossip about them, you say bad things. We get together with your siblings and it's just hack, hack, hack on mom or dad. Somebody says, so tell me about your parents. And you go hack, 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 hack on your parents, and you dishonor them. How do you honor mom and dad? It is not by always doing necessarily what they want you to do. It's just not speaking poorly of them. But what about being in a relationship with them? We are wise to desire that relationship. As rotten as they are, they know you well, and they probably love you more than most people do. So there is some good fruit to be harvested in that relationship. And yet, a relationship can become so toxic that it is actually bad for you, for your spouse, and for the kids. Can you ever make the decision to put an end to that relationship? The answer is yeah, after 1, you have done everything you can with them to pursue a relationship, which is to lovingly, respectfully share with them your concerns. And it can start by just being clear, perhaps for the first time, not in an argument, but sitting down and saying, there's some stuff I need to talk to you about. The way that you talk to me, my spouse, I really do have to ask you to stop using those types of words. Okay, let's go have some turkey. Let's say you don't even get to the stuffing and they're at it again. You can make that line a little bit more clear. When I asked you to please stop using these words and to stop causing acrimony in my home, I really meant it. Mom, Dad, I love you, but this really will stop. It must stop. You don't get to the pumpkin pie when, what do you know, they're at it again. Can you say to them, Mom, Dad, do you remember how I lovingly asked you? And then I more forcefully instructed you that this really has to stop. I'm sorry, but it hasn't. And I must let you know, if it doesn't, I'm going to have to keep myself and my family away from you. I don't want that. Please put an end to it. Then, if they do, praise God, or if they even demonstrate they're working on it, you can offer some grace. But if they don't, I think after following step number 2, it can be okay to divorce your parents. What is that step? Work with elders in your church. Get biblical counsel, especially from people who have lived through a similar situation. Because your emotions, they're as tender as an exposed tooth root, and you don't want to be making a mistake. So get wise counsel, and then, if necessary, you can draw that line of separation, but on the end of that pencil, you should have an eraser. Should the day come when they return to you and say, I'm sorry, I have blown it with you, I'm going to stop, will you give me another chance? The Christian should be willing to do that. Let me just get out my calculator, 70 times 7 times, and be willing to forgive so that you can enjoy the blessing of a familial relationship. Good evening, my fellow totally depraved Americans.